protesters thought they could stop the cars. But as our compilation shows, once a driver takes their foot off the brake, no sign is going to help. The conflict is simple. While many people are selflessly changing the world, others just want to get home. Check out these intense moments when cars refuse to stop for protesters. People thought that if they united against the police vehicles, they would be able to hold them back, but they miscalculated badly. This pickup truck rammed through a fence and took a motorcycle with it. Thankfully, no one was seriously injured. Activists in Athens didn't just throw trash at a police crane, they hurled entire garbage bins. Sometimes, to remove protesters from the road, people resort to extreme measures. But even that doesn't help. In Omaha, Nebraska, protesters try to stop a convoy of ICE immigration vehicles conducting a raid on a local meatpacking plant. Despite people attempting to block the road and even throwing stones, the drivers still managed to push through. Later, it became known that around 80 workers were detained during the operation on suspicion of being undocumented.
Oh my God!
In New Jersey, a woman protesting against ICE throws herself directly onto an official vehicle.
No! No! Let my people go! Let my people!
She screams furiously and tries with all her strength to hold the car.
Let them go! Let them go!
Hey, get off the truck! Get off the truck!
Let my people go!
It takes nearly 10 minutes before they finally manage to pull her away. But it doesn't help as she continues to cause a scene.
Get back! Move back! Move back! Get back! Watch your back,
British eco-activists blocked an intersection, and drivers decided to restore order themselves without waiting for the police. In a suburb of Mexico City, activists from Hermanas Aliadas tried to block a side road near the Bicentennial Viaduct. But not only was their method ineffective, it was also dangerous. This driver slowed down to avoid running over the protesters, but they immediately took advantage of it and surrounded the car from all sides. In the end, he lost patience and stepped on the gas. When the green turn arrow lights up at their traffic light, nothing is going to stop these drivers, not even a crowd of protesters. The protesters were obviously in the wrong for blocking the road. But the police van's reaction was far too harsh, plowing straight through the crowd at speed. It's unknown how this situation would have ended if the police hadn't been there.
Don't do that! You need to back up so you can get through.
No, that's all.
Come on! You don't need to do that crap, though.
Not even a human chain could stop this driver.
There's a car that's trying to get in. Push it out. Car push through. Oh.
In Nevada, rangers had to ram through a barricade built by eco-activists on their way to the Burning Man festival. One officer pulled out a gun and yelled at the protesters, threatening to open fire.
Get out now!
So many problems, all because of single-use plastic.
Get on the ground! Don't move!
This driver ran over several people right outside of a police station. In 2020, a convoy of Trump supporters drove into downtown Portland and clashed with protesters. Then, a scuffle breaks out. Some of them were spraying pepper spray and shooting paintball rounds, while others were throwing objects at them. In 2020, thousands of Black Lives Matter supporters blocked major highways across the US. But that didn't stop the driver of a blue Jeep who crashed into the crowd. Panic and chaos erupted, and one of the activists even fired a gun. This driver carefully drives through the protesters, but the activists didn't let it slide. They chased him down, cut him off, and started a confrontation. Fortunately, though, the driver managed to escape. In Utah, USA, aggressive activists attacked a family car driven by an elderly man who was simply heading home from the store. He sustained only minor injuries. The driver of this Dodge didn't care about the people he ran over, or even his own car. In Rome, a driver tried to get through a road blocked by eco-activists. But they didn't just block it, they glued their hands to the asphalt with mastic. They laid down right in front of his car and grabbed onto the wheels.
Oh!
But the man didn't fall for their tactics and eventually broke through the blockade. Police soon arrived and detained the activists. Maybe it would have been better to just grab a trash bag, some gloves, and clean up the beaches instead. Protesters surrounded a car near the Colorado Capitol. The driver tried to push through, but unfortunately hit someone, and police later arrested him. This delivery van driver didn't hesitate and simply bypassed the protest by driving through the pedestrian zone, and other cars followed his lead. In Portland, an elderly sedan driver found himself in the middle of a protest and, frightened by the aggressive crowd, began slowly moving forward, trying to escape. Demonstrators hit the car and shouted for him to stop. Later, 74-year-old Kent Hauser explained that he didn't want to hurt anyone, he just wanted to get out of the chaos. This 68-year-old driver refused on principle to reroute around a group of protesters and was arrested because he allegedly hit someone at a speed of just 2 miles an hour. A protest against the construction of a juvenile detention center turned into a confrontation with ordinary people behind the wheel. These drivers would just love to step on the gas, but the only option they have is to honk non-stop. When all you wanted was to use the road normally, but you ended up being treated like a major offender and getting scolded by the police.
I will get on top of your car. It's all kicking off, guys.
All of these activists lying across the road could not stop a biker. That moment when a motorcycle is definitely cooler than a car. Unless the cars have flashing lights, that is. This driver decided to defend drivers' rights on the road and tried to do it manually. Now, I wouldn't say he was very successful, but in the end, he still managed to get through. A kilometer-long traffic jam formed due to protests. And while everyone else quietly waited, this driver chose a different approach.
Oh putain. Oh.
Harsh, but effective. Eco-activists reached even river demonstrations. But even there, some drivers were not going to stop. A wise man once said, "Don't stand in the middle of the road. That's where cars drive." And I kind of agree with him. I mean, you can technically get through here, but here's the catch. They'll throw rocks at your car, even if it's an official vehicle. During a protest, a crowd surrounded an SUV at a traffic light. You can see people hitting the car on the hood and the headlight. And at that moment, the driver sharply turns and speeds away. Later, he was accused of hitting one of the protesters. Dozens of opponents of immigration policy in San Francisco tried to stop an agent's car, but in the end, he still broke through. In Northern California, a driver tried to push through a crowd of aggressive protesters with clubs and drums. He only made it a few meters before the police stopped him. It's unclear who law enforcement was trying to protect, the driver or the protesters. But the important thing is that he got stuck there. Activists blocked the Roseville Ring Road. Watch what the driver of the black SUV does at 33 seconds. In Detroit, a police car drove straight into protesters against racism. After that, the phrase, "the police are here to protect you," sounds especially strange. These activists tried to stop a truck, but this game can be played in pairs. Show how he drives onto them. One of the perks of owning a diesel that we didn't know about. This SUV gently nudges an activist to get through. Notice how carefully it was done. This driver is enviable for his maneuvering skills. Another failed attempt to block a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement van. What are these people even thinking? This minibus gets in the way of anti-oil activists.
Watch out! Watch out!
But managed to get through.
Out the way, out the way, Pat. Out the way, Pat.
The driver of this truck didn't fall for the guy's tricks and didn't even think about stopping. When will they realize that messing with a truck is a very bad idea? These protesters built barricades, but that didn't stop the stubborn driver. Watch, he even reversed to ram through even harder. The biggest victim? The road sign. Guys on bicycles blocked the road so other activists could continue the march freely. But this driver doesn't care about global conflicts. He just wants to get home. In the end, the police were actually on his side and intervened. This driver sped through a crowd of protesters without noticing that there was a small child among them. This driver seems to have decided to take revenge for all the blocked vehicles in this compilation. That's all for today. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on the best videos.